Is there an I in boucher? No, that'd be an air, right? Boucher. Bonjour. Ah, I'm working out. Yeah, David, I'm talking. Hey, good morning, David. Could you start with Kiwi? Barry, just to help you work on your patience, maybe. Oh, you know Isaac? Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I sat on the board of directors for Isaac United States. I also went to the 50th anniversary representing the United States to the Global Congress. Not bad for a Canadian, eh? Then I realized I didn't know any of the Americans and I didn't know any of the Canadians, so the Belgians adopted me and I sat with the Belgian delegation. Nice. That's how we do it in Bruges. All right. Anyways, all right. So what day is it? Whoa. It's Tuesday, the 5th of June, 2018. This is your daily Forex trading strategy session. Thank you for attending. Today we're going to go through the dollar pairs, the yen pairs, commodities, and what? What are we going to talk about? NAFTA? Yeah. Trump? Oh, I got something interesting to start with. Bond yields are expected to rise in Europe very soon, like probably starting today. Significant rise in bond yields. This is because there's going to be a significant increase in sovereign debt and in corporate debt, aka bonds being sold into the market. Unfortunately, there's a huge wave of these bonds hitting the market all at once. So for various countries and various corporations to compete with each other to get the money they want to borrow, they have to compete with each other by offering higher interest rates. That's why higher interest rates are expected in Europe. Now, why a sudden flood of bonds hitting the market? Well, there's a soccer tournament in the Ukraine coming up soon. What's it called? I live in North America, so I don't know these silly little things. Oh, the World Cup. So the World Cup is coming up, and European debt issuers need to issue their debt soon so they can raise the money now, because when the World Cup starts, nobody's going to work. Plus, it's summer, so nobody works anyways. And then as soon as summer's over, we're going to have a strike. That's just how it goes. So anyways, no one's going to be working during the World Cup, so any corporation or country that needs money is issuing the debt now, and because everyone's issuing their debt at the same time, they're going to have to pay a higher interest rate. And it just proves to you that there's humanity behind your charts. Isn't that funny? So like Hungary is going to have to pay more because of a soccer match. Yeah. And they're probably not even in it. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. So yeah, let's go. Hey, let me remind you that trading Forex is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hi. My name is Brian McDonell. I am the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you very much for being a client. And if you have not joined the TradersWay family yet, would you please visit TradersWay.com and open up a demo account? Take you 30 seconds. We'd like to have you get to know us. We would like for us to fall in love and develop a long-term symbiotic relationship with each other. Simple enough, right? Do these sessions 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday here on Forex.Today. And then first Friday of the month, I do non-farm payrolls. Do it live. I just completed the 146th month of doing that webinar, and 147 coming up in a month. Terrible swaps. Okay. All right. So looks like Joe's coming over. Okay, let's go. So welcome to the family, Joe. All right. Desktop. All right, cool. So let's go back here. Kiwi. Let's do Kiwi yen in a bit. I set this up. This is, I think, where we left off yesterday, right? I think, pretty sure. These are all Aussie pairs, and do you remember I said Aussie was likely to move this week because of the news, because of the news, because of the news, because of the news, and because of the news? Oh, and don't forget the Chinese news on top of the news of the news and the news and the news. There's also news and news for China, which wouldn't be news for Aussies to use, for you to use the Aussies. So anyways, Aussie. So guess what? I sold some Aussie. So let's take a look. Look at this amazing trade plan that I had. Amazing, right? Well, let's go through it anyways. Let's see. Why is it so amazing? Well, here is the weekly projected top. Weekly pivot profit zone, okay? So the red zone says, hey, it's not going to go any higher, bro. That's that. It's done. Ish kaput, ya? Okay. Cool. And this is a pivot point on a monthly basis, right? Kind of overlapping this whole zone, which bulls are supposed to be taking profit, okay? So what my chart says is it ain't going to go up, bro. Okay, so it gapped down. Anybody in the, has anyone taken the video on how to trade gaps? It might be in the scalping course. I don't quite remember what course it is. Chuck, do you remember what video it's on or what course it's in? It might be a scalp just because it's such a short-term one. So anyways, we open here Sunday afternoon. So it heads up. Nature abhors a vacuum and fulfills its destiny. Nice! No, they're at fxbootcamp.com. Sorry about that. Yeah, they're at fxbootcamp.com. Anyways, interesting, right? So Uncle Wayne waits for, well, that's a 5 minutes. So where did I get this? Boy, I got it somewhere in here. I must have been on a 1 minute chart because it looks like that was gettable. But anyways, cool, right? So this is where I am now. This is where I'm short. You can see the entry and the stop loss, one and the same. Cool, right? So if I were me, I need to make a choice. I can move my stop past break even, right? Where do you want to put it? Something like that? I don't know. Whatever. We'll play with that. Here's Aussie Kiwi. Now, why did I trade this one? We don't have a pivot profit zone. Help me digest the trade plan here. Okay, a monthly pivot point, a weekly pivot point. So let's mark these up. Let's do the weekly first. This is a weekly pivot point. Okay. The second part is this is a monthly pivot point. Cool. Now, what about the weekly pivot point? Is it just some random pivot or is it an important pivot? It's actually weekly M3, which is the weekly swing trade plan. So on Sunday, I released a trade plan to the swing trading group, and it said, hey, if you're a bear, you're going to sell up here. Cool! Anyways, yeah, so you can see my entry is here, just below where you would think it would be, and this sort of thing might be happening. You don't know if it's going to happen or not, but it's something. I can't lose money, so that's a start. Cool, right? Cool. Nice. Now I could have taken this one too, right? Monthly pivot, weekly pivot profit zone. What are you supposed to do if you hit your pivot profit zone early in the week, like a Monday? Well, you can take your profit first of all. Take profit, right, on your long. By the way, you see the swing, guys? Up, 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 down, 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 down. Buy, up, 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 up. Take profit. Boom. Now, is this a random pivot or an important pivot? Well, that's weekly M3, which is the buying pivot. What is this big black line? That's the monthly central pivot. Could be interesting, right? By the way, this was set up as a front run last week off of the monthly M3. So on a monthly basis, you could have been front running this. So long story short, we've just hit the weekly target. What does a bull supposed to do? Oh, sorry, M2, my bad, M2, weekly M2 and monthly M2, sorry. So what are you supposed to do when you slam into a monthly pivot and a weekly target on a Monday? Well, the first part is you're supposed to take profit. The second part is if you've taken profit and you're out of the market, it offers a counter trend trade. This is one of only two counter trend trades I teach, right? And the target is back to the weekly. So you might as well throw in the monthly there. But I'm not saying you have to be. It's not, if you're a bull, you have to buy this. I mean, it's a monthly swing, or sorry, weekly swing. If you're a bear, you don't have to sell this. It's much more dangerous because you're trading against the trend, but you have the option. It falls within the rules of engagement, and you have to use some judgment there, right? Okay. Can anybody confirm that that I'm not just talking about it after the fact? That's a legitimate trade plan. Only in this situation. If it happened Tuesday, yes, once again, you have permission. Wednesday, Thursday, no. Friday, absolutely not. Cool, right? So, like, there's only a few hard and fast rules, and that's one of them, and I think that's cool. Is it actually going to fall down here? You know what? No, I don't know. It could. That's just a guide, right? That is support, right? That's not really that much support. What about this one? Is there anything going on here? Yeah. So, you got to pay attention and fold the facts in, right? So, anyways, I think that's interesting. So, you could have sold Aussie here, right? Why not? Was that as legitimate of a trade? Is this one up here? Yeah. What about this one? Yeah. So I sold Aussie. Had great reason to sell Aussie. And then what about this one over here, pound Aussie? Is there anything that could warrant me buying pound Aussie, which by and large is what? Selling Aussie. Could you have folded a trade plan into that? Yeah, should, right? What's missing? I like this zone here. What did the others trade plans have that this lacks? Yeah, as Charles says, less of a cluster. There's less of a confluence, right? See, like, look where the monthly pivot is down here for a buy. It's not that good, right? Compared to this, which is touching, right? This, which is touching. This has a cluster. It's not as good pivot profit wise, but whatever, right? Right? We have sound, Stefan. We have sound, but you. I shorted this yesterday and got knocked out at break even here. Too bad, so sad. It wasn't a very good trade, so I deserve it. But I wonder what's going on now. Am I going to get this? I'm very interested. Yes, Roger. Yes, Brooke. I got to get Kiwi Yen first. I just want to go through the exotics here. Okay. So I managed my stop well because I got knocked out on that green candle, so that's good. I just, I don't know. The spread was a little wide that time of day and all that kind of stuff. I was trading in the Asia session, doing some Asian scalping. I scalped those Aussie trades, and then I'm like, oh, because remember, going back to those Aussie trades, we couldn't even find a good entry on a 5-minute chart. So clearly, I was scalping. So I was on probably 5 and a 1, and then I was kicking off of my long-term support and resistance, so I could drop into a 1 and whatever. So in here now, I need to decide whether this sets up for me or not. Interesting, right? And I had to manage it properly. The peso trade has collapsed. Never quite got going. I mean, you had an opportunity to at least jam your stop at break even. I think I was short this too. I think I shorted it during NFN. That's Turkish lira. By the way, guys, so that trade, by the way, I forget the exact numbers, but let's say, so I shorted one standard lot, right? $100,000 worth of euro. $100,000 worth of euro. And then I took my euro and I bought lira. So I have $100,000 worth of euros worth of liras. Okay, you got that? Whatever that number is. Okay. Now I held it for I held it for like 3 hours, but I bought it 5 minutes before. I bought it at 4, I think even closer, 4:48 p.m. Well, bought it meaning selling. I sold euro yen, euro lira at 4:40 p.m. At 5 p.m. we had rollover. Okay, and I earned $7 in 2 minutes. I got my interest payment. I got interest payment for a full day. I owned it for 90 seconds. That's cool, right? Yeah. At 4:48, I sold euro lira. Okay? Which means I own this, okay? And I borrowed this, and this is how much I borrowed of that, and it cost me $1,000. Okay? These are all rough numbers, I think. It's about that, okay? Anyways, at 5 p.m. we have rollover, and the broker says, hey, who's holding short positions of Euro Turkish lira? If any, for all traders that are short Euro Turkish lira, Turkey owes them an interest payment for the day. Even though I was in it for 90 seconds, they just look at it as an accounting thing, and it says Turkey owes this guy $7. Cool, right? Okay. It's lira. So I hope I don't keep saying peso. It's lira. All right, so let's do some math. What is $7 times 365? $2,550 per year, only in interest payments. Yeah, 555. Great. Okay. How much do I have invested? How much cash do I have invested? $1,000. Boom! Like a gangster. What? Guaranteed payments, guys. Guaranteed. Think of that. Would you lend somebody $1,000 if they were going to pay you back your money plus $2,555 in interest? So on the 1 year anniversary of you lending Turkey money, right? You get $3,550. 3,555. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Hassan says that's if it doesn't reverse. Yeah, and you're right, and it did reverse and knock me out. So we'll go back to that. If someone asked me about the lira, that's why we're on that. So I got knocked out on this, and I didn't lose any money. I made my $7, right? But whatever. Paid for the trade. So basically, the whole thing was a wash. Okay. But what if, and this goes back to the portfolio manager stuff, what if you built a portfolio where all you did over and over and over and over again is look for good entries, enter the trades, manage the risk, remove the risk, and move on? What if all you did for a year was build a portfolio of high-yielding assets? I'm just saying. Now, that's what many hedge funds do, and that's what John Taylor of Forex Concepts did back in the 70s when he started the first Forex hedge fund. He didn't make any pips. Oh, Marina, because you would be paying interest. Okay, Marina, you'd be doing this in reverse. You'd be paying 600% a year in interest to buy USD Mexican peso. Okay, so you can only sell this, guys. If you buy Euro Turkish lira, you're going to pay, right, 250% a year in interest. And you're like, well, I don't want to borrow that kind of money, right? So here's the other thing, guys. So what if, just we got lucky? I mean, look at this on a daily basis. Selling this is a little interesting. But you can see I have the plan. Actually, this is kind of funny now that we're looking at it. I kind of already planned this out for you. Okay? But What if I was able to, it might take me 100 trades, guys. It might take me 100 trades to like sell this and then sell this, and maybe it comes up here and sell that, and maybe it comes out there and there and there and there. But I'm just selling rallies at resistance, and I'm doing nothing more. But I never take profit, right? So eventually, out of the 100, let's say 10 stick. Okay, and well, let's do it this way. I guess the monthly target is here. So, I mean, a year from now, could we be? I mean, where would we be a year from now, guys? It's your call. Like, this is the monthly target, which is pretty good. So let's just say, I don't know. Let's just pretend we're down here. Okay, and after 100 trades on time frames, 10 of them stick. The others are all break even. Okay, great. So we're down here now, and now to the end of the year is 6 months, right? So I get what, $1,268 in interest, plus my $1,000 back, right? But now also, wait, 1,500 per trade. So now that's like, so it's going to be, 12,000 bucks basically. Okay, so now I got my 12,000 bucks. I take my profit on my 10 trades, so I get my 10,000 bucks. I've only been in it 6 months, so now I got like 22, 23, right? But what did we not account for? The pips. So now, guys, you have, a trade here and a trade there 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 and a trade there. Okay, so you got your 10,000 bucks back. You made 13,000 in interest payments received. It's already in your account. Plus, how many? Like, I know these pips are crazy. You'd have like a million pips here because it's only Turkish lira, right? The pips are small. But like if these were, if this was euro dollars of euro Turkish lira, right? This would be like, I don't know, let me guess. 500 pips on this one, another one on 400, another one on 300, another one 200, another one, whatever, right? You would end up having, an equivalent of what? 5,000 pips? You know what I mean? Actually, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it? Because on 10 trades. But whatever. We'll say 5,000 pips doesn't sound a lot. It's because the interest payment's so high. But typically what happens is the pips are worth way more, right, than the interest payments. But the interest payments are so high, it's funny. You're like, you made $13,000, right? And on interest payments, and you only made 50 grand on pips, but still, right? So you got yourself a $65,000 setup in 6 months or whatever. So, but whatever, you can earn the pips. A true carry trade firm or a high yield firm truly only cares about the pips. Or sorry, about the interest payments, not the pips. But then there does come a day when you do want to take pips, and that has to do with the tax man usually, and seasonality. So, anyways, it's just something to think about. So, yeah. So now tomorrow is Wednesday. If at 4:49 I decide to sell the euro Turkish lira, at 5 o'clock, 1 minute later, is rollover. What's my interest payment? Approximately. I've held it for 1 minute. No, it's only 3 days. because there's the 4-day one then is on holidays. You're going to earn $21 in 1 minute. Oops. And the reason for that is the way that the brokers calculate is there's a 2-day settlement date. So you go back a couple of days and you get paid for Saturday, you get paid for Sunday, and you get paid for Monday, but you only sold that there at 4:49 p.m. on Wednesday. You had nothing to do with Wednesday, nor did you have anything to do with Monday, Sunday, and Saturday, but you're going to get paid for these 3 days, even though you only held it for 60 seconds or less. You got paid for 72 hours. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous! Now, Daniel's right. What if Monday is a long weekend? What if banks are closed on Monday? Oh, snap. So I think, it's been so long since I've done these types of things, but I think now you got to wait Thursday. I have to double check that one. But Thursday at 5 p.m., you're going to get paid for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So that would be $28. Okay. Isn't that neat? I don't know, just something for you to think about. So anyways, this trade did not work out, sign of the times. Of course, we got trade wars going on and all this kind of stuff, so who knows. South Africa, all I can tell you, Southeast, is on Sunday and Monday, this was a sell zone. Okay. And any seller had the opportunity to sell. The buyers go back to, now, typically, like if I front run, I don't like to front run with NFP, but you kind of have to a lot of times. This is where risk management's important. But if you were bullish on USD ZAR, or simply like most people, bearish on ZAR, right? If you want to sell Rand, this was excellent. This was a front run available Thursday night and Friday morning before NFP. You could have bought it, okay, here. Okay. Which means you have to calculate next month's and next week that's before they've happened. Okay. But this is a dip zone, right? And then, so bear that in mind, like someone actually already did that. And then the second part is if you're a bull on this Rand, versus, right? Well, bullish on the USD Rand, bearish on the Rand, then this is your weekly swing. And it's kicking off the monthly swing, which is this anyways. And the target's going to be like way up here, right? The sad thing is that's another one I would like. I'd like to buy Rand, but I can't yet, right? So, but here's the interesting thing. Bulls are doing what are supposed to be doing. Bears are doing what bears are supposed to be doing. So I think I had this marked like this at one point. And then check this out. Okay. So just because you see a giant green candle doesn't mean it's going to stay green. So an amateur is going to buy that blindly, right? They'll say, oh, the gods say that it's going to go up today. Right? But who controls the market? Okay? It does not negate the fact that that's resistance. So anyways. Hassan says, so I would never long you. Not based on what I teach. You can do whatever you want. It would be the most, stupid carry trade ever because you lose money on the carry. Okay? You can scalp it, you can spot it all you want, but if you're swing or carrying it, you have carrying costs. Okay? So, Hassan, let's put it this way. Let's say you asked me to borrow some money. You're like, Wayne, I need to borrow money. I'm like, okay, I charge 50% a year. Are you interested? No. So why would you pay Mexico 50% a year to borrow their money? Yeah, well, there you go. So you just answered your own question. Yeah. All right. So that's that. I have to do Kiwi Yen. Is that the right one? Michael, it's too easy for me to tell you. Here, it's an opportunity for you to learn, Michael. Spend the next week or month or year even and do the research. Do the Google, look around, all that kind of stuff. Find the ones that seem to be paying higher, right? So you want to look at treasury markets. So like you can ask like, what does the United States pay in interest, right? Well, what are you talking about? Overnight bonds, 10-year bonds, 30-year bonds. So like the benchmark I like to look at is 10-year, right? So in the United States, the 10-year T-note pays 2.993% today. Yeah, I know today's deal. It's my job, bro. Yeah. So anyways, I can interpret it. The 10-year is is just below 3% in the United States. What's the 10-year in Germany? 1.2. But then start looking around. Well, what's the 10-year in all the different countries around the world, right? Oh, why doesn't it show? Sometimes you have to do this. Right-click it and go show all. Okay. So, anyways, once you've done that, then go and find the ones that well, first of all, the TradersWay offers. And then go to those central bank websites. Click on the little English button and stuff and just start reading, or Google the news and what's going on with Erdogan if you're interested in Turkish lira. If you're doing peso, what does Karsten say at the Central Bank of Mexico? And yes, that's the central banker's name. You've got to know these things. So, so long story short, do the research and just get into it. Use it as an opportunity to grow. I could tell you, but just follow the rabbit hole. Yeah. All right. Somebody asked for Kiwi Yen. All right. So am I supposed to say that that's a double top? Whatever it takes. Yeah? So what's next? It's going to drop to about, well, somewhere around here, 76.80-ish, 76.75. Then it's going to rally up again, and then maybe even higher, and then it's going to fall. Then it's going to rally slightly, and then it's going to fall. Any questions? So basically up 50 pips, down 50 pips, up 20 pips, down 100. Yeah? Why not just straight down? S1 to R1. You know what? I didn't even look. Yeah. Peter says bullish. Well, it can't be bullish to me because we're at resistance. Okay? So I look at this and there's just no way in hell it's going up above 78. Not anytime soon. Well, first of all, I have moving averages on this chart, so I have to respect the moving averages. The 55 says it's going to double top. Then I look left, there is a double top, but we're also near a monthly and a weekly target, so maybe we'll just stick our neck out, what I call an Arctic turtle, stick our neck out, grab that, and snap back. Then it's going to go back down to support where it had trouble, but now the 55 is not in control. In fact, the 21 and 55 will be kissing. So we'll have a false rally, back up to now the weekly resistance, which would create the lower high, which then would create the lower low, and would fall back into the cluster of pivots. After that, I don't know. We'd have to replan. No, there's no debate, Mike. It's clear. Each has his turn. Bulls, then bears, not bulls and bears. Well, but even then, Mickey, it doesn't collapse instantly because not everyone's that smart, right? I mean, it could. I mean, obviously, I don't know. But the 55 predicts a double top of this. So if I'm back here, okay, is everyone going to be smart enough to bail on that? No, we just rallied up here, right? And what are they staring at? What's their goal? Monthly R1, weekly M4. So they're going to go for it. They're not going to bail early. So they'll buy it up into here, and then they'll take profit. This will collapse. The really dumb bulls will try again. That's going to fail. And these bears now are going to be confident that we've had 100% retracement. So they're selling the next resistance, which is a third, right? Third touch of this price, which creates a head and shoulders pattern. And that gets us down to in here, right? Because you got to grab this now and take it down to the neckline. Okay. Okay. So I'm talking a double top of this double top. Okay. So if you trade like the daily chart, okay, your double top is this one. Okay. Double top. What if you trade a 15-minute chart, not a daily chart? Then your double top is this. Okay. And then, of course, it ends up triple topping, if you want to call it that. And now you're just trading a triple top in this area, because you can't see this on a 15-minute chart. It don't exist none, as they say in Georgia. Sweet bread and coffee. What a nice saying, Jeremy. That's cool. I like that. Sweet bread and coffee. That's something that's called bias. Why would I buy something I just sold? I'll only do that in very specific situations. Okay. Or maybe I'm just not that good. Can you imagine selling your car? And the guy's getting in the car, turning the keys on, he's getting ready to leave. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'd like to buy it back from you. And he's like, what do you mean? I just bought this. I haven't even left your driveway yet. Yeah. But I changed my mind. let me buy it back. Yeah. So there you go. Whoever asked for that, hopefully that was helpful. My guitar keeps echoing as I'm talking. I gotta turn it around. Stop echoing. The strings vibrate. All right. Residents, yeah. All of them, unfortunately, Mike. Slapping the bass, slapping the bass. All right. La, 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 la. This is not a good setup. This is not a good setup. This is supposed to be your sell zone yesterday. So like being up here is kind of weird, and then coming down there. So we kind of have to look at this pivot, which maybe gets us to a double bottom, but there's this in here. I don't like it. Maybe it's a good opportunity for me to sell Euro Turkish lira again. WTI. So I think it was Trump, wasn't it? Trump? Somebody wrote a letter to OPEC begging for oil yesterday. Was it Trump? Somebody did in the United States. Yeah. Cool, right? So this really sucks for my trade plan. Doesn't, you know, the trade plan was still valid. That's fundamental, right? Roger. Roger, that's affirmative. Got to do it. So it's a beautiful trade plan, and the fundamentals crushed it. Now, remember, I was talking about Saudi Arabia and Russia issuing a joint press release saying that they're standing by to release additional inventory. I didn't call the whole U.S. thing requesting it. It's the reverse side of it. So I kind of got what I wanted to get. I just didn't think anyone would believe the Russians and the Saudis. But maybe they talked about it. Like, really, what if people got together, right, in Geneva and said, all right, if Saudi Arabia and Russia issue the press release, no one's going to believe them. Like Saudi Arabia and Russia want oil prices to go down. It's laughable. Then they said, well, what if the U.S. requested Russia and Saudi Arabia to produce more oil? That would work, right? And they all look around like, yeah, that'll work. Smart, man. Smartest thing to come out of Geneva for a while. Amazing. Ali, don't get all excited about that. Yeah, there's a lot more going on than EVs. All right. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but it's, you know, that's not bringing oil prices down today, right? Oh my God, Tesla, you know. All right, we all know that 50% of every car in the United States in 10 years from now will be an EV. Great. But You're talking so abstract now that you're like, whoa, what? In the next 15 years, oil prices will fall? Yeah, well, Tesla, I mean, you got to give Elon Musk some credit. I mean, he did change the entire industry. Before Elon Musk, the auto industry was backwards, dinosaur, and everybody knew it. Nobody can change it. Everybody knew it was corrupt and slow. The cars were crap, old technology, just no innovation whatsoever. You know, maybe I blame the unions. I don't know. There's a lot of fingers to point. But anyways, it was a garbage industry. Um, and so Elon Musk came along. Cool. But when Toyota decides to make all their cars EV, they will make millions of EV vehicles. And the EV vehicles are way better, right? No engines, no exhaust, no fuel tanks. You're like, makes sense. It's a better design. Why do Teslas have little flat places to have a grill? Like, even the whole shape of a car now can change, right? But you know, that doesn't make me buy or sell oil today. But anyways, when Honda and Toyota say we're going to take over this market, they will take over this market. No one will give two hoots about Tesla. They'll be the first, and they'll be always known, but that'll be that. Because when Honda and Toyota says we're going to make 3 million of these, they're going to make 3 million. They're not going to say, well, we try to make 3 million, but we can only make 3,000. Honda and Toyota could actually manufacture cars, and that's the big thing. So Elon will step down. He'll sell or do joint venture out the Tesla. He'll keep the brand around, and he'll go on to making rockets and batteries. Maybe he'll just be the battery man and stuff like that, which makes more sense because I don't think he ever intended to have a car company. I think it was always intended to be a battery company. Anyways, we don't need to get into that today. So what we're concerned as traders is what brings oil, what drives oil up today, what drives oil down today. So my target was 73. I hit 73, right? Boom, job done. Went from 73, now we're down to 64. I think I said 62 and a half. So we're not there yet. Now, I honestly didn't know this was going to happen, but once it's happened, then you put together a trade plan, okay? And we're looking at 62 and a half-ish, probably next week. Okay. So if you're interested in oil, like I say, EIA, IEA, OPEC, do some research. There is such an amazing abundance of beautiful research and charts on oil that it's a fabulous thing to specialize in. I tell you, and I know most people never do it, but go to the IEA, go to the EIA, go to OPEC websites, and they just have awesome reports. And the World Bank, right? And the IMF. They are wonderful, wonderful places for information, guys. Just beautiful PDFs with incredible charts, well written, and all that kind of stuff. It's just awesome, right? But again, 95% of people I tell that to will not do it. And then you have to ask yourself, well, 95% of traders fail. And it might be because, and this would scare me because it did scare me. If someone said 95% of people lose in trading Forex, and then also 95% of people, when told relevant, applicable information is available totally for free at the IEA or EIA or OPEC or IMF or World Bank websites, all they have to do is go there, download it, and read it. But 95% of people are not willing or unable to do it, and at the same time 95% of people fail. I'd be so scared, like, well, what if that's the reason, right? My only reason to do it is to make sure that if I failed, it wasn't because, well, I didn't do the basic research. Well, don't worry about interpreting it. The first step is to do it. Right. So here's what I would do if I were me, Allie. I would download it. Some of it you probably will get, and other stuff you won't get. So you highlight it, and you're like, what is that? Maybe you can ask me, or maybe you can do some research with Google. Go to edX, take a class. Go to Harvard, take a class. I know more now about the oil industry than I used to, and I used to know a lot, but now I know more because I studied it at Harvard. And you're like, well, I can't go to Harvard. Well, go to community college or go to edX, or, you know, a nephew of mine, we were talking 2 weekends ago. During the holiday weekend, I sent my family off to play at the beach, and I stayed here to work. And then my nephew's like, dude, do you have any work for me? I need the extra money. So I'm like, yeah, well, swing on by. I'll give you stuff to do. And he was taking a break, and he was smoking a cigarette. I'm smoking a cigar, and we start talking. And I'm like, hey, so what are your plans for the future? What are you? And he's like, I'm 25. I'm like, so what are you going to be when you're 35? And we're talking about this. I'm like, well, what do you think the basic things that a reasonably successful 35-year-old has? Does he own a home? Does he have a down payment to buy a home? You know, like what kind of 35-year-old would you like to be, bare minimum? And are you on a path? He's like, well, you know, my job's good, but it ain't going to be that good, you know, and I don't know if I want to be doing it for 10 or 15 years. So we talk about it. What do you want to do? He's like, well, I like cryptocurrencies and stuff, right? So I'm like, well, okay, well, what about blockchain, right? Because he was kind of getting into the blockchain stuff. So I'm like, hey, let's talk about it, blockchain. So we spent like 45 minutes talking about blockchain. I'm like, you know what? Let's check this out. And I pull up my phone because I read somewhere there's like 5,000 jobs for everyone qualified to do a blockchain job. 5,000 jobs per guy or gal. So I Google up blockchain jobs, Atlanta, and then some in New York came up. I'm like, look, you can move to New York and make $450,000 a year. You just need some basic qualifications. He's like, $450,000 a year. You're right. He doesn't make $45,000 a year, right? But anyways, so I'm like, look, here's what you need to do. You need to work your ass off for 2 or 3 years straight. I'm like, don't worry about it. I work my ass off. You can work your ass off. What's the big deal? I got a job. I got a wife. I got kids. And I go to school on top of that. I'm like, what's the big deal? If I can do it, you can do it, right? So I'm like, look at this. Boom. And I go to edX. And from the University, Polytechnical University of Hong Kong will give you a certificate in blockchain. All you have to do is take six weeks classes. Like 6 classes, and only 6 weeks each, and you can do them online. And like, I could sleep through that. But now you have a certificate. You go in and you show the guy, I'm like, I have a certificate in blockchain. Give me an entry-level job. Pay me $90,000 a year and let me work in air conditioning. Done. You can be done, and that's your life in 6 months. Then you get that, and you tell them, pay for me to get more advanced training. Give me a couple of years worth of experience, right? And you're paying down your debt, and you're saving up your money. And then you go get a better job. Do that for 2 years, and then you get another better job, and suddenly you're 35, and you own a new car, and you own your own house on a 40-year mortgage, whatever. But you're like, there you are. But like, why, right? But it's the same speech I give you guys. I'm giving it to my family members too. I always have, right? Like, all you have to do is look at your Forex trading from a little bit further than the video game attitude. Things like, wow, if I was in my trade a year, I get paid 250% interest. That's pretty good. 250% interest per year. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Right? All you have to do is let your winners run. All you have to do is sell at resistance or buy at support. All you have to do is the basic fundamental research. Just go to the IEA and EIA websites, because one is sort of OPEC related, one is non-OPEC related. They're going to kind of have opposite points of view, but that's okay. Read them. And anything you don't know, write it down. Take some notes. Well, what if I don't understand those notes? Then do some research. Take some of my videos on FX Bootcamp, right? Take a college course. And don't tell me you can't do it. Oh, well, Wayne, I have a job, I have a wife, I have kids, and I'm wah. Yeah, do that, then go to Harvard. On top of that. And by the way, I'm moving to Cambridge in a couple of weeks. Yeah, tell your wife and kids that. Oh, honey, sorry, I'm going to be gone for a month. Again, right? So don't tell me you got it worse, right? I'm just suggesting it's plausible. Okay? So like I said, when I started, I was so afraid that I would not give it the full effort, that I would be the part of the 95% failed because I didn't try hard enough. So I would just try hard enough, right? I don't know what you're going to learn at these websites. I don't know what you're going to read or how you interpret it, but I would write down notes. What do you understand? What do you don't understand? What does the EIA and the IEA agree on? What do they not agree on? Does one say 1% growth globally and the other one says 2% growth globally? Good. So guess what? Now they're probably going to get 1.5% global growth next year. And what does that mean for macroeconomics? Is there going to be an increase in demand globally for energy or not a decrease? Well, they'll probably tell you it with graphs and charts and summaries. So often you get like executive summaries. You don't have to read the 5 pages. You read the 1 page, because they do it for reporters, because reporters are not smart, right? So anyways, right? You can do it, guys. Just more. Just give it more. And you know the easiest way to do that? There's 2 ways. Fear, like I just explained to you, the fear of screwing up the best financial business model I've seen in my life. I spent 10 years as a venture capitalist or helping people raise venture capital. This is way better, guys. So the fear of missing out, having the opportunity in my hand and just not trying hard enough, is fearful for me. Now the second thing is, and it works reasonably as good, fear is better, by the way, but reasonably as good is just falling in love doing it. And I'm still, sometimes, you know, when I go places and I'm trading on my phone by a swimming pool or something, you know, I'm walking through some exotic, beautiful hotel on the other side of the planet or something, I think to myself, look at me, I'm a currency trader, right? I feel good. I'm like, I'm a real currency trader. I'm a big boy now, right? I'd like it. You just fall in love with it. You know what I was doing last night? Dark outside, and don't get all creepy on me. I was studying Islamic finance. Yeah. Outside on my laptop till my laptop died. Then I brought the video up on my phone and continued watching on my phone. It's relentless, guys, but I love it. Maybe that's the missing ingredient. Okay. All right, so pretty late here, so let's just quickly go through some of these. Up, 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 right? Down, 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 up, up. So if you remember earlier, this was a potential buy. Seems to have failed. Lower low, lower high, roll reversal. should come down. If it doesn't do either of these, I'm going to be very disappointed. Okay, probably an inside week, but maybe it sets something up for next week. USD Kitty Cat. Here's the front run on Friday. Here's the second chance on Monday. Tuesday, we're supposed to make a higher high. Doesn't mean we will. Okay, so let's mark that. But let's do it again. This is the front run. Okay, Thursday and Friday, you had an opportunity. That predicts something way up here. Probably take 3 weeks to hit the target. Okay. Then yesterday we talked about, oh, okay, if you're a bear, you would sell here. I can't do anything about these things. This is the buy zone. This is the sell zone. So if you're a bear, you better be setting up a trade, or you already actually should have already sold it, and now you're getting knocked out. Well, boo-hoo, try again. But whoever bought down here, bought here, and then they also bought here because that's the second trade, up, down, extension. So the bulls are doing, right? The bulls are going to buy, 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 buy. Shake it up, right? So they bought here, which makes sense. That's the front run price. Actually, 128.46, so around 128.50 you should have been buying. Okay. And then this is the second chance retracement roll reversal at 29. That was your buy. I'm sure we talked about that yesterday. Okay. And these trades should be leading to a higher high. There's only one place left. The blockade is here at the monthly M3. Is that a significant pivot? Well, that's your sell zone as a monthly swing trader. And there's a top, which could have been a front run the other way. This was Monday's entry, which is just the entry you would expect in normal conditions. And this is unfortunate, but it's still there, right? So bears have it awesome. Bulls have it awesomer. And if you're doing something different, it's because you don't know how to trade. I don't know any other way of saying that. These are clear entries. Brooke says he longed it yesterday. Great. I don't know if it's going to collapse here, guys. Just like I don't know if it's going to go up here or here or here. What you need to do is decide, are you a bull or are you a bear? I don't care how you make that decision. Okay? And these are long-term decisions, not today or this week. So if you're a bull, that is like stupid obvious. If you're a bull, that is stupid obvious. If you're a bull, this is stupid obvious. As a bull, do you buy it here? No, that's stupid obvious. You don't buy it at resistance. It's ridiculous. Okay? And what if you're a bear? Okay? Where do you sell as a bear? Certainly this. This was a front run. And now up in here, maybe you look for a turn. Okay? It's easier, not easy, but it is significantly easier if you make a decision. And then you trade your plan based on your decision. Your decision is a strategy. Could you call that and that and that and where we are now? Could you call that resistance? Okay. As a bear, do you sell at resistance or buy at resistance? Sell at resistance. So create a trade plan. Amazing coincidence, guys, right? Amazing coincidence that on a cluster of a weekly and a monthly pivot point, price held. Yeah, but it's only a quadruple top, Wayne. I like pentuple tops. Quadruple tops are not good enough. Pentuple tops are so much better, right? So I'm going to wait this one out, bro. So anyways, portfolio managers. We're meeting in near the top of the hour. So I got to download this video, upload it to YouTube. I got to do all that kind of stuff, but I'll open the room and we can meet up there and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, since I ran late, I'll be a little bit late, but we'll catch there, right? So we'll be over there, portfolio managers. Okay. And everyone's account now is at 25K, except who is it? Emilio or no? Unai has 30,000. Oops, my bad. Sorry. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you, babe, but I got to go. Thanks for being clients of TradersWay. We love you. Wear the maroon shirt tomorrow. Yeah, I guess so. Cheers. By the way, we have room for more portfolio traders if you're thinking about it. Cheers.